Welcome to episode number 14. I'm Dave Dries.
I'm Scott Emick.
Namaste, bitches.
Namaste, bitches.
I need a haircut.
You do need a haircut, man.
It's a little out of whack right now.
If you think Dave needs a haircut, actually just write in what kind of cut would you like to see Dave get. A little etching maybe on the side.
Be a very dangerous thing to have the internet world do.
I'd love to see what they have to say.
Welcome to episode number 14. Everything is going well here. It is a hot day in Phoenix.
Very hot. Glad we got 13 out of the way because that was bad. You know, it was like a week of bad luck.
Yes. That's done though.
That's done. It's
no
behind
more black
us.
cats are walking under ladders.
Ladders, right. I was trying to remember what that was.
What are we talking about today?
Questions.
Yes.
Yeah, we do this little thing here where you put in the questions in the box below and then we answer them.
Yes.
So this week's question is is this for real? Does building muscle burn fat?
Does building muscle burn fat? So are you essentially saying, does having more muscle mass?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
This is Steven that sent in this question. So I don't know if we need to call up Steven on the lifeline and get some clarification. But what?
I'm assuming that having more muscle mass, does that burn more fat? Is the question.
Right. Yeah, that's how I understand
So
it.
if you have more muscle mass, a guy who might be walking around at 10% or 8% body fat, is he going to be burning more calories than someone who is maybe at 20, 25% body fat?
Yeah, like if I have bigger muscles, like if my muscles were like your muscles, would I burn more calories?
The answer is yes, but it's not like a huge amount that's going to
This is a
drastically.
big but.
Yeah, so I mean, like, you're going to burn more calories the leaner you are and the more muscle mass you have, but it's not like it's going to be like 300 more calories a day that your body's just firing in and burning calories.
Okay, so we did some research on this.
So, right, but it came down to...
So 10 pounds of a muscle would give you...
Was it 50
to 60 calories extra.
50 to 60 extra calories a day that you would burn
day.
if you had 10 more pounds of muscle. Now, if you were to have fat, though...
But 10 pounds of muscle is like a shit ton
That's a ton of muscle.
Yeah.
And then that's only 50 to 60 extra calories. Now, if you were to have fats, for every pound, it's usually like 2 calories. So if you had 10 pounds, you're looking at burning 20 calories versus 50.
Versus 50,
sense?
yeah, because it does take calories to burn fat as well. We actually talked about this in episode 13 a little bit. We touched on it.
With the
TEF, yes.
Yes.
So
ultimately, at the end of the day, it's not, I mean, if you were to take just on an overall day total, 24 hours, in an unscientific way, you're looking at burning, just let's say it was only 10 pounds of muscles versus what you had in your overall body, you'd be looking at burning an extra 50 calories versus 20. So it's really not an extreme amount.
could we just say that it's probably not in your best interest to make this your fat burning plan?
It's a very good point. But I do think you want to try to add muscle.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
But you shouldn't
But there's a really good reason for that too. Because if you are on a fat loss plan, what is the reason why would you want to be increasing muscle mass during that period of time? If you're on a weight loss,
I mean, you want to try to build as much muscle as you can.
But I guess what I'm getting at is if you're on a weight loss or fat burning plan, and you're not working out, you're going to lose muscle mass.
Correct.
In that process.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So really the takeaway from that is you should be doing some form of resistance training.
Right.
Which we say all the time is simply because even if you're in a caloric deficit, so you're trying to lose body fat, so you're working out harder, you're eating less, caloric dense foods, if you aren't lifting weights, I'm going to use lifting weights, but I want to say resistance training, so that could be kettlebells, dumbbells, it could be barbells, it could be bands, it could be CrossFit, it could be just straight bodybuilding splits. There's a lot of different things that you can do to resistance training.
Splits?
Yes, we can talk about that on a different... No, not the splits. So you need to be lifting weights because you want to try to maintain the muscle mass that you currently have while you're in that deficit. So then they talk about protein, you talk about amino acids, you talk about sleep, you talk about all those other things play a huge role in it. But if you are just trying to lose body fat and you're really not doing anything from a strength training standpoint, you can still lose body fat. You can still get
But
lean.
you're also going to lose
But
muscle
you're
mass
also going to
in the
lose that
process.
muscle mass. And then here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is something we can touch on a different day too, is that if you're doing these either a drastic diet or a long-term diet, statistics aren't on your side because you might end up gaining that weight back, or
Wow,
you
that's
have
a whole-
you have a better
yeah.
chance of gaining that weight back. And when you do, you aren't gaining that muscle mass back that you lost.
No.
That muscle mass might go from 100 pounds down to 90 pounds, and you look lean and ripped. But if you gain that weight back, you don't gain that 10 pounds of muscle back. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
crucial that you do have some form of resistance.
There's only
training.
one way to get muscle.
Lift.
That's right.
Jack Steele
That's right. Or do a lot of vinyasas.
with dumbbells. Somehow, some way. I hope that answered it, to be honest with you, man. I don't really, if you have more muscle
think
mass
so.
on your body and if you're leaner, you do have a greater opportunity to burn more calories.
Yeah.
Now, is that number a significantly drastic amount like that people might think?
It's
No.
highly insignificant.
It's highly insignificant.
Yeah. 30
So-
calories roughly a
Right.
day
For 10 pounds.
is the differential.
Right.
Yeah.
So just try to lift weights, try to eat healthy, and that pretty much solves that. So
Yeah.
follow us on Instagram,
Twitter,
Snapchat,
Facebook,
and Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go. And put those questions in the box below.